Hi, and let's see what we can do with compressing files down using a wonderful little web page that I found called Handbrake.fr. This would basically compress all these files. If you look at the pictures that are in front of you, this one particularly has been compressed from a massive amount of megabytes down to something else. That would be halfway down. We compressed it only halfway down. And this one here would be the original. With having the original, you can always check it and make sure that your megabytes have gone down and stuff like that. You need to be able to make sure of that, because what would you use this for? Well, basically you'd put it on websites. When you're sending it in emails, you can't get 5 megabytes through your email. They stop them. But this would do away with all that. And then you can check and see when you go to the Handbrake FR website, you can make sure that you see it. The reason you'd want to bring this down is to make sure that you get, specifically for when you're sending it, you can't send less than 5 megabytes in an email. And sometimes it can be close enough, but it's just not there. It might be 5.2, 5.10, 6, 7, whatever. But you can bring it down completely with using this system. And I swear by it all the time for websites. It makes it run much, much faster. If you have a video on your website, you need to do this, guys. So you'll have to go to the website, handbrake.fr, and look for the download. You can get a night version of this if you look around, if you look through the system before you download it. I wouldn't, if you're only starting this, I wouldn't touch that. Just download it, put it on your system and see how you get on. Now, here's a few examples of what it can do. This particular one here is 11.9 megabytes and we reduced it right down to 2.1 megabytes. A bit extreme, I would have said, but that's what it can do for you. It started off originally at 11 megabytes, but how are you going to get that in an email? You're just not going to do it. And there's not really much loss in this, guys. You're basically playing around with the whole system to get it just down from 11 to 2.1. I think that's good. I'm happy with that now. So pop over to the website. It's handbrake.fr. Make sure you do the .fr, otherwise you get it wrong. There is other ones trying to take your money. Don't do that. This is free, completely free. The difference with it is negligible. Look at this video. The first one I'm showing you is the original, and this shows all the different stuff that comes up on it. Sound quality is good, visuals are good, everything works out fine. But then we went and downloaded and made sure it was different, and we put it into this one, which is the exact same video. There's no real loss there now, in my mind anyway. But the size was huge. I mean, that was a 20 meg originally, and then we brought it down to 2. You're going to lose a bit, but you're not going to really lose that much to worry about. It's on your website. The first thing you have to do is you have to import your video into the system, and that's very simple. You just press the import button on the top left there. Is the one that says open source up the top. Now make sure you have your web connected onto that as well. I have settings presets that I've already done on this, so I'm going to just switch them on now for the moment and let you see what I have. I keep it on MP4 to start off with, just to get it going, and that usually works out fine. To go into the others, it's too technical, but that's the one that works on everything. From the summary page, then you go into the dimensions page and just make sure there's a few little things. I kind of make sure these are 1080p, make sure it's all that sort of stuff. You want to make sure it can crop itself, rather than you can end up with a video that's cropped on YouTube and it's an absolute nightmare to watch. But these dimensions it'll automatically set it down the bottom here for 1080p. I think 1080p is the best at the moment. 4K is a little bit overkill unless you have actually recorded in 4K. Now we go into filters. Never touch them, I never do. That's the video section. I'll be coming back to that later. You have the audio, which is on my presets. I would put everything up to top on that, and I'd use the one that I have in front of you. I'd use that all the time. I don't touch anything else. It's the pass-through AAC system I use on that. I don't really change that. There's no need to. Just no need to do it. There is other stuff you can do with captions and stuff like that, but let's go back to the videos here now. The main sections you have is quality and average bitrate. The quality, you can bring it up to, you can bring it right down to up to 49. You can do it, whatever. They say 22 is the primary one now, in fairness to it, for most videos that you'll be doing for compressions. The 264 is the one I just stick with. Do not touch anything else. There's no point in bothering with that. You can do your 3024. It just depends on what you want to do with your frames. I stick to same, because some of the stuff on this is off the video, some of it's off the camera, some of it's not. With all this other stuff, I just switch on the auto, let it do its job, change your fast rate. Maybe you want to encode it faster. That's just for helping the systems to do it, especially when you're on the web. You want to encode stuff faster. It works better. I don't really touch that too much. I would always stick all that stuff to auto. It's just it's the way it's done. It let it do its job for you, and when you do that, it loads much quicker anyway on the websites, one way or the other. Now the other thing you do here is the average bit rate. It starts off at 6,000. I have it here at 2,500. I think that's good, but you need to make sure that when you're compressing the file, make sure you click the 2. You want to make sure there's 2 on it, and it's turbo pass. That's specifically for recording when you're recording it. You bring the bitrate down to 2,500. You can go to 6,000, 3,000. There's loads of different numbers. Play around with that. Have some fun with it. That's what I'd be doing with that. So then we move on up to changing all these things around and just playing with them. It doesn't really make a difference. I like the 2,500. There's a little secret tip on the 2,500. I got it from someone else and it just works well. But the compressions on the other ones is, you want to make sure that it is always on. Bring that other level down to roughly about 22-ish, 22, 24. That's sort of the primary region you want to do it. And I still, as I said, I'm just going to put my presets on now. And we're going to do one and we'll just see what it comes up with. All this other stuff is all encoded into it. I've all done it. You can save it there. Save it as to, if you're doing a preset, that's the way you do it. You just go save your presets. Stick to the same ones. There's no point. There's loads of stuff. 4K, you can bring it down, but I like the 1080p. It just works. And it works well, you know. Anyway, right, so let's get one going here. Press the start button, make sure everything is correct for you. Press the start. This takes a couple of minutes at the best of times. Make sure you're not covering over something else. You make sure everything's right. And we're done. So there you go. That was very fast. So you just have to go and check them now. That would be what I'd be doing. It's compressing it down. That'll tell you where the file is and all that sort of stuff. And it works very well. We'll just check these now just to show you what we have. We get the info off that. You can see that's over 5 megabytes originally. I downloaded it. When you download it, you have a place you can put it. You can put it in your downloads videos. I like to put it in videos. I've obviously put it in downloads here, but just to make sure, I added on a little 1 at the end of it just to know where it is. There you go. It's done again. Just making sure. And now I will go over and see, yeah, it's gone to my downloads. Just give us 1 second. We'll open up the downloads there. Hang on. Yeah, there's downloads. Now we'll just do the info on this, which is, yeah, we go down, more info, and we're at 4.2, so we're below what we need to transfer anything. You can go lower, but I'm happy enough with that. I don't know about you, but the quality seems to be quite good. Just check that now to make sure it's right. The videos are down the bottom, so you can play it on this when you get your info. There's the quality now. I don't see any issues with that. That's lower quality. It will load faster. It'll move faster when you're on the web pages. It helps loading. It's super, absolutely super little trick. And here's the original. We get the info off that, and we'll go and check that video. 1 second. And I'll finish now, and we'll just check the quality of the original one. Now you always have the original one. You can still throw them on YouTube. You can still throw them anywhere. That's a little trick with putting the 1 at the end of it. But as I said, it's over 5 megs. This video is a video I did for a company called Heart Passion Institute, and Melody wants some intros and outros. So I'm just getting it down so as I can send it out to her later on today. Here, I decided that I wanted to get better quality, so I went the other way and I went down to 2. I had a massive video, so that would be the original one. That's the ones I showed you at the start. This one here is just the lower down version. It's a short video. I'll keep pressing this, but it's good quality. It's good enough. It's certainly good for on the websites and stuff like that. And then I would go over to the other one, which is here, and that one is the standard quality one, which is too much to send in emails. But this one here, I actually increased the quality of it because I wanted to get a better look on it. And that can happen too by compressing. You can actually go the other way and make these absolutely super. And that's exactly what I wanted from Handbrake. It works in every direction. It's a great little thing to have in your pocket to be able to use. So head over to handbrake.fr, download it. As I said, you can go into this other part here, which is down the bottom, just be able to load the download, and you can go into different parts if you want. And thank you for watching. Like this if you like the video, of course, and subscribe. I'll be doing a lot more stuff like this over the next couple of months. I'm kind of jumping on YouTube for a while to see if I can export my information that I have in my head. It's time that people learned all about this stuff, but this is an absolutely super thing. Thanks, guys.